Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and today we're going to have a look at an unboxing and what they're going to look like painted up of these harvesters from Wargames Atlantic. It's for their Deaf Fields game, or game system, I'm not really quite sure, but there's 30 miniatures in here and there are 28mm figures. Although, you know, they're bugs, you know, if you've got bigger miniatures, they won't really matter. It just means that the bugs are slightly smaller. If you've got smaller miniatures, you know, these bugs are bigger. So, you know, if you had a 15mm against these guys, they would be very large creatures indeed. So having a quick look at the back here, you know, you can see nice art, and, you know, they've got the, you know, what they could possibly look like painted up. But yeah, the main thing is, let's have a look at what the sprues have on them. So once we open it up here, they are identical sprues as usual. There are no stands in the box, okay? So just so that you know that. So we have identical sprues, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All of them identical. So we'll have just a look at this one here. So having a look at it, we can see that there are 4 bodies on each sprue. And there are also 2 little, like, drone type bugs, which are the smaller looking ones. And that's pretty kind of cool, you know, that they've got these different sculpts and different creatures on here. There are also some egg sacs, which, you know, you can add to the models. Most of them are like melee type creatures, but there are also a couple with like bio weapons, if you like. They got like weird lasers. Think sort of Tyrannid, that sort of thing, you know, even though these aren't. So I think, you know, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm hoping they go together easier than I'm expecting they will. Okay, so first of all, we got these 2 of the smaller ones that I was on about. So this is off one of the sprues, and yeah, they look kind of cute, you know, these little, you can have them as little drones, you know, the workers, you know, that run around doing the odds and ends. If you think of Starship Troopers, you know, the little ones, not the big ones. So comparing him next to a miniature, you know, this is like small dog size, maybe, you know, something like that. So yeah, I would think that I would use these as sort of, you know, the worker ones. They're not particularly threatening, but they are there. So this is the first of our miniatures that we got painted up, and I've gone for this sort of like neutral, earthy toned colour for most of them, and I think they look really good. I was worried about how they would glue together. Using super glue, they glue together fine. I wouldn't want to use plastic cement, because you'd have to hold them there forever for them to be weight bearing, you know, and that would be a bit of a pain. So again, size comparison, I think they look really good. You know, they're quite large compared to a human, and that's kind of what I would want from my killer bugs. So this is again a different sort of style with the legs and what have you. The legs, you know, you kind of have to figure out which ones fit to get them to stand certain ways, etc. But you know, that's the thing. So I really got these for my games of Rangers of Shadowdeep. So in the Rangers of Shadowdeep, you use like giant spiders, but I have a player who's arachnophobe, so rather than freak them out having giant spiders, I'm going to have like giant insects, because they don't have a problem with insects. So, you know, if you've got a player like that, you know, maybe this is an idea for you as well. But they're really nice looking miniatures. This one was like a greenish colour I did instead of the bonish colours and the sort of sandy, you know, whatever. And yeah, I really like them. I think they look really good. They went together a lot easier than I thought they might. I was kind of worrying they were going to be like the Oathmark spiders, which I had a terrible problem getting together. But these guys seem to actually fit together pretty well, you know, even though they're quite spindly. So, you know, like I said, use super glue, I would suggest. So you can get, you know, various poses for them. Now in this video I am going to show you the sort of kit bashing version of them. Now they're not really that much kit bashing, it's just me chopping them down to make different poses. But you know, I can't do a lot of kit bashing with these that I can think of. You might be able to, but I can't. So this is a bio weapons version, so this is in the kit, so I painted them up red with green bases, so you know they stand out a little bit so I can spot which ones are which easier. And I think, yeah, they look pretty darn good. Not so keen on the red colouring as I am the bone colouring, but, you know, I did want them to stand out from each other. I know I could have done the weapons a bit more like plasma effect-ish, but it's okay, you know. I don't mind them as they are. You know, they're a bit plain, but I think they work reasonably well. So after this guy, we have the start of the ones that I would consider sort of semi-kit bashing, because, you know, they're not as they come in the box. So this one I chopped the back legs down a bit so I could actually squat him down into the mud a bit more, so like he's just leaping out of the ground. I could have made a bit more of a mound around him maybe, you know, to make it look like he has tunneled and popped out of the ground. But I think this works, you know, it looks, you know, it's the effect I wanted, and he's, you know, standing up quite tall, towering over a 28mm miniature. Same with this one's sort of skittering along. I cut the legs really as much as anything to give a bit more surface area so I could glue them down, because I want them on 2 legs, so, you know, obviously they haven't got the full support of the 4 legs, so, you know, give it a bit more area so that they can balance a bit better. And I really like the pose. I think he looks really quite menacing and terrifying. So with this one, I went a little bit further again. So as you can see, he's only got a bit of his legs coming out of the ground, and he's sort of reaching out, and this one's pulling himself out of the ground, I think. Again, I could have maybe made the hole around him a little bit more like he dug his way out, but I think you get the effect, you know, this thing is coming out of the ground. And even more so, you know, with the next one I'm going to show you. There you go. This guy still looks taller than a human, so, you know, that kind of works. So the last one I'm going to show you now, so even more so, he's halfway through burrowing his way out of the ground, and I think this is a really nice effect. So yeah, I really like these miniatures. I think if you want monsters, you know, they can kind of be a generic monster, you know, you can use the stats from other creatures as them, and, you know, they're going to work out well, and you don't have to worry about anybody who might have arachnophobia, etc. in your groups, you know, just have weird insects. So if you've liked my video, I'm going to ask you, please, you know, leave a like. That would be really appreciated. I have a few people now who are actually kind of following me and leaving comments on my videos, and I'm really enjoying interacting with you. So if you leave a comment, I will always reply to you. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. But until next time, it's going to be goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer.